Hello, and welcome to the Sunshine Summit for 2018. My name is Heather, and I am the host of Sunshine and PowerCuts, a podcast that features two types of episodes that alternate each week. Sunshine ones offer inspiration drawn from nature, and in the PowerCut ones, I share insights into my life living off the power grid. Today is day 7 of the Sunshine Summit, which is a week of live streams celebrating connections with incredible content creators that I've had the chance to get to know over the past year. We have had 11 guests so far over the week. We started with Derek from Sometimes Geek and Rolling Misadventures. Then we were joined by Rhett Hall from Brain Trust Network, Wallfly Podcast, and Cardinal Branding. And we finished out day 1 with Anthony and Steph from the Off Center Archers podcast. For day 2, we had my friend Adam Higgins from Odd Dad Out, and then Lo from Low Nose Media. For day 3, we were joined by my best forever, Elisa Lucas from Best Forevers, a podcast for kindred spirits. Day 4 was Susie Buttress from the Casual Birder podcast. And then we had on day 5, Logan Naugle from the Paper Robots podcast and Betting Frog comic. Followed by Lisa and Sam from Canada from I Shake My Head with Lisa and Sam. Yesterday, for day 6, I was joined by Luke from Luke Is Talking. And today I have been grateful to have been joined first by Stargate Pioneer of Better Podcasting, Gunna Geek Network, and a host of other shows that he hosts as well. And today, like we did back in March for the very first Sunshine Summit, I am very honoured to be joined by Bandrew Scott of the Podcastage YouTube channel, Bandrew Says Podcast, the creator case study, which we're going to get into today. But yeah, here, without further ado, is Bandrew.
Hey, greetings, Earthlings. Welcome back. We're here with another conclusion to the Sunshine Summit 2018. And I think we need to throw a box to get this thing started. Never get tired of that. Almost killing myself with those box. Oh, geez. How you doing, Heather?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being
here.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody who came by the live chat before we even got started. That was awesome to kind of keep the party going from the last live stream. It's so cool to see you there. The live stream's going to last possibly for an hour. They've all lasted about an hour so far, so I hope you can stick around, Lazy Mitchell. But thank you for being here. And yeah, welcome. Thank you so much, Bandrew, for helping me close out last time because it was the very first one. You've been an incredible connection that I've had over the past year. It's been over a year because it was July 2017 when I found you and found the Podcastage YouTube channel. So thank you for all that you do. It's been awesome being a part of your community. If anyone goes back and watches any of the other, or almost any of the other live streams, you feature in them. You come up as a recurring theme. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for being a part of the community. You're one of the bright shining stars of the entire community. You make everybody's day better. You seem to care about everybody, and you just make it such an awesome community to be a part of. So thank you for being a part of it and sticking with it. Awesome. I appreciate you.
Yeah. One of the main places that I am a part of the community is in the Discord server, and we'll get to that in a little bit. It's going to celebrate its first birthday next month, and my first podversary for the podcast is this month. So it's kind of awesome how that all works out. People loved the box throw, so that was awesome. Thank you for that. But yeah, just going back, if I'm sure a lot of people do know you, but you have the Podcastage YouTube channel where you do the gear reviews and things, and you host the Bandrew Says podcast, and you've recently launched the creator case study, which is an incredible way that you're connecting with content creators and sharing their stories. So if you wanted to, we could either start there or go back and celebrate the things that we're celebrating since March. Up to you.
I guess let's start with the creator case study.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been too good at going out of my comfort zone. I am not too good at reaching out to people and making friends or connecting with people that I haven't known for a long time. So the entire idea was a little bit anxiety inducing, but I decided, you know what? I should probably try to reach out to some other YouTubers and content creators and try to get to know them a little bit and maybe try to get some value out of them. So that entire process has been insanely rewarding, getting out of my comfort zone, finding these new people, finding out that, hey, they have watched me or they've heard of me, and they're willing to sit down and talk to me for an hour, which is, it's insane for me to think about that somebody would give up an hour out of their day to chat with me. I'm just a dopey guy who wants to pick your brain and steal all the knowledge that you have and give it away for free. So I'm insanely honored that they've been willing to do that so far. And it's been so much fun. And I need to start booking some more people because all the ones that I have backlogged have aired. So it's time to start contacting more people and finding more people to chat with. But I've been really enjoying it so far.
Yeah. You've come a long way in the past year that I've known you anyway, like from where you were back in June, July of 2017 to where you are now. And in the March Sunshine Summit, you were asked, where do you see yourself? And you said in the exact same place. But I tell you what, you're not there. You've moved on from there. And
yeah, it's been quite a drastic change. There has been a lot of different approaches to content strategies, thinking about how I should approach creating different YouTube videos, how I hate this word, but brand myself and my podcast and my channel. I feel so dirty. I'm gonna have to shower after this, but I've been putting a lot more thought into it. And I think that is ultimately beneficial, but it also, when you put so much thought into something, it lends itself to that aforementioned anxiety where you just start to overthink it. So I need to focus on developing a happy medium there where I consider this stuff, which is important, but I don't let it overtake my life, which at times I have let it.
It is hard, and you put a lot of effort into what you do, the consistency and the value that you provide. All the gear reviews follow the same format so that it's easy for people to compare them and to get the value out of them straight away without all of the fluff around it. So you're putting a lot into it. You're also trying to offer a lot of value in these other things with the FAQ and the Versus series and now the creator case studies. So you are taking on a lot to give a lot of value to everybody, which is amazing. And there are a lot of people connecting with that. Back in March, we celebrated the fact that you'd hit 60,000 subs. Man, this is hard. Words are hard today, Bandrew.
Words are hard today. Hey, words are hard today.
Yeah. But we celebrated that back then with 10 million views as well. And then now you've got 73,000 subs on YouTube.
It's something. It's 72,000. And I should know. I just looked this up because I was updating my podcast description, and I think it's like over 70,000, and then like 13 million views, which is just insanity. I don't know how we got here.
You said that last time too. Yeah. In the chat, we've got Luke who's talking, and he said, "Get crazy and throw 2 boxes, one in both hands." That might cause some damage.
I'd have to get up.
It's okay.
I don't like standing up.
It's okay.
So
it could be a future idea.
Maybe the next Sunshine Summit.
Elder said you can't steal what people openly give, and I think that's quite a good thought as well in terms of the value that people are sharing. It's awesome that they wanted to get on board and give you that time, but also give that time to us by sharing their journeys and things. And then David said you can sure as hell steal hearts.
Well, David stole my heart. I'll tell you that much. The entire Discord server stole my heart. Bunch of jerks. Gosh, making me feel things. It's not okay. Stop it, guys.
But it has been an incredible place where your community has come together. There is a lot of members in there and a lot of ones that participate regularly, and they offer a lot of value for each other. They support each other. They share what they're watching on movies and music they're listening to. It's been an amazing place to hang out. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, like when I first started the Discord, I didn't know what to expect, but it's almost been a year, and it's become like a lifeline for me because YouTube can be a very isolating endeavor. You don't really interact with many people. You just sit down at a desk or wherever and talk into a camera. And a lot of the times you're ignoring possible life experiences around you. So by having these people hang out in the Discord server, it's been amazing having the ability to have a group of people who have a similar interest and who are so welcoming, because that's such a rare thing to find on the internet. it can be such a vitriolic place, yet somehow this Discord server, and I think it's likely because there's just so many amazing people there. They've made it so welcoming. When somebody new comes in, they don't jump down their throat and say, "What are you doing here?" Like a lot of places on the internet, they say, "Hey, welcome. What's up? Got any questions? Go ahead and ask them in this portion of the server. Want to talk about movies, music? Go check it out here." It's amazing. And if it wasn't for that, I likely would have quit because I would have felt so isolated. So the Discord server has been a lifeline for me that is invaluable, an amazing group of connections there.
Yeah, we've got a conspiracy running in the chat that secretly you're actually a good guy. You're a really good guy.
No. No, I have a reputation to keep. I'm a monster. I eat gumdrop buttons. That's a Shrek reference for all you memesters out there.
Yeah. But I do want to do a massive shout out to the Discord because they've been incredible this week. They've been incredibly supportive of myself and the Sunshine Summit, but also each other and the things that they do. So thank you to everybody, absolutely everybody from there who's been here for me. I really appreciate all of you.
I second that. And thank you for doing such an amazing summit and letting us hang out with you in the chat and come along with you on this celebration of connections. So thank you right back at you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Just scrolling back after March, Podcastage actually celebrated 3 years on May the 12th. So congratulations, happy birthday to Podcastage.
Thank you. You were, you had to remind me of that because I had completely forgotten. But I never thought I would be doing it for 3 years. But like I said, if it wasn't for all the connections that I've made throughout the couple of years that I've been doing it, I likely wouldn't have continued. I know Logan was on, and when I first started, I wasn't getting any traction, and I had spoken to Logan, and he's like, "Don't give up, man." But I was like on the verge of quitting. So Logan was an amazing and essential connection to keep this going. Then I met a gentleman named Wissam who hooked me up with Kraig Adams and Al from Cool Loser Tech. That's how I got to know those two people. So Wissam, if you're watching, I know I never mention you in those conversations, but now I am. Thank you, Wissam, for helping me make those connections. And they've been very beneficial and essential. And 3 years, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And Luke said 3 years, that's the same age as a small child.
Very observant, Luke. Very observant.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, we connected over a year ago, about June, July of 2017. So yeah, amazing to have had the opportunity to find your resource, the Podcastage YouTube channel, because that is how I got my Samsung Q2U that I'm using for the Sunshine Summit and that I use for the podcast, and all of the learnings from listening to your podcast and things, because when you're working through different technical things, you let us know what you're doing, and so it's been really helpful hearing your experience as well as everybody else's in order to improve and learn and grow as a podcaster. So,
well, thank you. I can't believe that we've known each other for only a year. Feels like significantly longer.
And hopefully that's a good
Not
thing.
In a bad way. Yeah, not in a bad way. Because that could be either a good thing or a bad thing. Like, oh, we get along so well, it feels like we've been friends forever. Or it's like, oh God, it's only been a year.
It's such a drag.
It's the former, not the latter.
Yeah. Ducky, I just want to do a shout out to Ducky. He made it. It's like 4 o'clock or something in the morning for Ducky. So thank you so much for being here. But to everyone who's come by, it's
good
awesome.
Good morning, Ducky.
Yeah.
Enjoy a cup of coffee on us.
Yeah. The Working Cows podcast is in the chat and said, but small children take less time than a podcast. I have 4 small children. So if you have 4 small children and doing a podcast, that's incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah. Congratulations on the discipline to still podcast if you have 4 kids. That is a feat, to say the least.
Yeah. We have a lot in common too, you and I, which is what we kind of discovered fairly early on, I guess, and it's been amazing sharing that with you. And yeah, and here we are. You're here again. Here we are again. It's always such a pleasure.
charmed, I'm sure. But we really do. I mean, I think we really started to realize how much we had in common when we started discussing Hugo's House of Horrors in the voice chat one night, and we ended up playing that on we both had the game open. I don't know, maybe we talked about this last time, but we both had the game open on our ends, and we played through it. So
yeah, that was awesome. Just making a note here that this was a triumph. Making a note that it was a huge success.
This was a triumph. Yeah.
That's a reference to the last one too, because we had the portal cake. Heather has a pad of paper. Yeah. Make a note. My pad of paper.
Make a note of it. We'll do it live. We'll take some notes. Okay. Checklist. Take notes.
If anyone has any questions for Bandrew during the session, please do pop them in the chat. That would be awesome, because it is a live event. We want to celebrate with you. We want to celebrate the connections you guys have with Bandrew or myself or both of us together. Just if you're part of the Discord server, any highlights or memories you have from that. If you've been along to Bandrew's Twitch streams, because that's something new that he branched out to this year, that would be amazing. The talking points of this live stream, Lazy Mitchell. So the idea is that we're celebrating connections. So we're just going through a sort of background of our connection that we have. And I've got some points that I want to talk about the connections that Bandrew's made, which I'm going to be coming up to next. Working Cows Podcast said uploading the audio-only podcast to YouTube was actually a casualty of being a parent. And the earlier quip was a joke. Cool. So on that note, then we've talked about the year of the Podcastage Discord server, which is going to be next month, and the value in that community. But your YouTube thing has grown. We did mention that, and the creator case study, which is, it's kind of like the whole thing about content creation is a journey. It's adapting, it's learning and improving and creating new content. So you're connecting with ideas. You might be connecting with resources and tools to help you get there, which is how people might come across the Podcastage YouTube channel. And then the creator case study, they are connecting with the other content creators to learn from them and their stories. So are there any other connections and things that you've made with other resources or podcasts that or anything that's helped you on your learning journey?
Yeah. So I recently, I've been listening to Better Podcasting for 100 episodes now, 70 episodes, something. That's an invaluable resource that I get a lot out of. That there's always good advice in there. Pretty much every single episode, I walk away with something new that I want to try to adapt to my podcast. Then I recently had a conversation with Ray, podcast helper, which was awesome, just chatting with him about microphone stuff like that. He's working on a class, and I was able to maybe I'm not supposed to say that, whatever. But I was chatting with him, and it was a lot of fun speaking to him, because I've been following his channel for quite some time. And then I just today actually stumbled across Dave Jackson and his podcast Rodeo is what the show is called, where he listens to a podcast and he sees how long he can make it into it before he says, I would not subscribe or I would subscribe. And since they're only about 5 or 10 minutes, I was able to listen to probably 15 or 20 of them today. Yeah. And I was taking notes the entire time thinking, oh, well, I do that. That's a problem. I should fix that. So I walked away from that with a bunch of different methods that I want to adapt to my podcast and all my content strategies, actually.
That's awesome. That is so cool. I know that you're very into YouTube. Obviously, you use it as a resource. That's why you wanted to give back and set up the whole Podcastage thing in the first place. And you also look at different videos and get ideas and tips from them about how other people are doing it and what you could apply to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sometimes that is detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
I love YouTube, and I consume probably too much of it. It's probably not at a healthy level, but I'll watch shows that have nothing to do with what I am doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll watch the Joe Rogan show. I'll watch Tested. I'll watch Cody's Lab. I'll watch all these different channels and try to, well, first off, I'll just watch them and enjoy them because they're really good at what they do. But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, well, what is there to be learned from this? How are they approaching the project that they're working on? And I try to get at least one or two things out of every single thing that I watch. And like I said, it can be detrimental. So I've watched some YouTuber social media feeds, and they share some statistics, some analytics, some information, some theories, and that really starts to get into your head where 5 months ago, maybe you were perfectly happy with where you're at, but you start to, if you're not careful, you can start to compare yourself to them. And if you're not in the same niche, if you're not making the same content, well, even if you are, you're not the same person, you're not the same channel. So you really shouldn't be looking at them and saying, I'm not doing as well as them, because you're on your own journey. You're doing your own thing. Just have fun with it. As long as you're enjoying it, you shouldn't let it get you down, even though do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
I know I've said that about SP a few times over the stream in terms of podcasting only on 2 podcasts, but I'm going to apply that to myself as well. Do as I say, not as I do.
I think that's an important thing to remember, because we can compare ourselves to other people, and it can be entirely overwhelming because we are on all different parts. We have different backgrounds that bring us to this point. We have different resources and different time availabilities and everything. So yeah, I think you need to sort of find where you are and find what is going to support you and help you along. We had a question. What are your thoughts about audio-only podcasts on YouTube?
Good question. So as far as audio-only podcasts, I know there are a few, I can't recall the podcasts in particular, but there have been a few discussions on it. But my take as a YouTuber, not as a podcaster first, because the people theorizing about this were podcasters first. So as a YouTuber first, I don't think you should do it, because I can tell you, when I am going out looking for YouTube videos, if I see a static image, I'm clicking right off of it. I don't care how good the content is, because you need to think of what the platform and what the viewer who's searching that platform are expecting. So if you are on a video platform, you're expecting to see engaging video. If you go there and you just find a static image, it's not going to be engaging. Your expectations are already not met, and you're going to be leaving your potential viewer with a bad taste in their mouth, and that may put them off of ever checking out your podcast. So if you just have an audio only podcast, I would say do not upload it to YouTube initially, but maybe just stick with audio only. And then once you get to a point where you can introduce video to your podcast, then do that. I will point out that there is some anecdotal evidence from a few YouTube or podcasters who have uploaded audio only and had a really good results. But I think those are likely going to be outliers. That's not going to be a standard outcome if you are an uploader of an audio only podcast with a static image. But that's a great question. And that's a heated topic in the podcast community.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking. The other one was from Eldest. What is one connection that you've lost that you would like to reconnect?
Oh.
Do you want to come back and have a think about that one?
Yeah. I got to think about that one. That one's difficult.
Okay. Lazy Mitchell asked, have you gotten rid of any microphone that you wish you'd kept? A lost connection with a microphone.
Okay, yeah, lost connection with a microphone? No, I haven't sold a single microphone. I have every single one that I've purchased for this channel. I have every single one. I wish that I could get rid of some of these connections, but I know I will end up coming back to them and comparing them, so I can't for the sake of my wallet.
Yeah.
Good question, though.
Yeah, Luke asked, why did you decide to stream on Twitch, which we were going to come to, but we'll answer it now. You want to?
Okay, that's a good question, and I'll go ahead and... I'm sorry?
No, you go.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and answer 2 questions. They're kind of related. So I'll start with this. First off, I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers switch over to Twitch for live streams and long form content because they think that live streaming is damaging their channel. We'll come back to that. I'm going to table that for a second. Why I started streaming on Twitch is because I just wanted to try something new, get a little bit better at on the cuff thinking. See, I'm not even that good at it because that's not what I was trying to say. What's I guess improvised conversation, I guess just natural conversation. So it's allowing me this or it's giving me this opportunity to develop my skills of not being scripted, not having an outline, just having one or two talking points that I know I want to talk about, but then talking about that while I am also gaming.
Yeah.
So now let's unpin this thing that I set to the side. People jumping over to Twitch because they think live streams are hurting their channel. I'm going to talk about why I, not really related, and I'm sorry I'm hijacking this, but I want to talk about this, if that's okay.
Of course.
So I recently moved the Bandrew Says podcast off of the Podcastage channel, which I was putting it there for about a month and a half. And the reason I did that was twofold. One, the first reason was because I was following people's social media and I was concerned that it was damaging the reach of my Podcastage content because it is so different. It is so much longer and it's not really what people have subscribed for. It's not what people expect. So that's coming back to what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago with expectations. You need to meet your audiences and your subscribers' expectations. So even though it is my channel, I could technically do whatever I want. I don't want to abuse that trust that somebody has given me by clicking that subscribe button. So I put it over on its own standalone channel. So I have the full uploaded podcast there now, but it's also allowing me to clip certain news topics. So it's a much more digestible piece of content there. But what I was not anticipating, I am loving this so much, and this is a great connection, is clipping portions of the Ask Bandrew segment where people have sent in questions and I answer them, and I'm clipping those as little standalone 5-minute videos. And it's so awesome. I wasn't expecting that they would turn out so well, but it's like, it's a little, what was that famous Ask Jonah, or I don't even know. Dear Jane, I don't know what the thing is, but it's like that for me, talking about stuff that I care about, and I am loving it. So that's, I think, one of the coolest connections that I've made over the last couple of years. I think it's only been going for about a year, maybe a year and a half, the Ask Bandrew segment where people send in questions.
Yeah.
And Heather, you've been an amazing contributor to that. So thank you for that. But it's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's fun for us to be able to ask them and engage with you that way and hear what you have to say at the end. So it's awesome that you're putting them into small, clippable things that are easy to find. And the same with your podcast, taking out the key points from that. It makes it a lot easier to find what you're looking for. You did an amazing job before that, putting the timestamps in there and saying that people could skip around and find what they were looking for. But making them their own little video is actually quite a lot easier to sort of see what you're going to get out of it. So that's awesome. Just going back to Twitch, unless you wanted to carry on there, but is it different or harder than YouTube? Have you found so far?
Oh, I think it's tremendously harder. Mainly because you aren't editing. So you have to be really good at just being a talker. You can't be a poor talker and be good at Twitch. Although maybe I shouldn't say that. You probably can, and I'm sure there are very popular Twitch streamers who are just very good at gaming. But the way that I approach it, since I am so bad at video games, I have to be good at conversation and interaction and conveying points. So for me, it is tremendously more difficult being on for 2 hours, 3 hours. And some people may think of that as inauthentic, where you're putting on a persona, but I think everybody, when they're on camera, has some sort of persona. It's not inauthentic. It's just maybe a little bit of an exaggerated version of yourself. And doing that for 3 hours is draining. So these people that do 6, 7, 12 hours, they're crazy. They're monsters. They're machines.
Yeah.
But yeah, much more difficult for me.
Yeah. But you've enjoyed branching out and trying something different and having that kind of relaxed gaming thing rather than just the creating the, because even though your videos on YouTube for podcast for Podcastage are short, it takes a heck of a lot of time behind that to put them together. Whereas a stream like this week, I've been going live for 11 sessions over 7 days. It's been quite a lot of an effort, and they've only been an hour long each, but you're on. You have to know what you're going to say and flow through and keep it going, because dead silence is kind of not awesome unless you've got the gameplay to watch through kind of thing. So there is a different element to it. I think, yeah, you can still be authentic while you do it, but it is you don't have that ability of editing. So whatever comes out, and that's what it is. So it's just different in that way.
Yeah. You need to be entertaining. I think me saying it's inauthentic is
I know what you
not
mean.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just being entertaining. And yeah, absolutely. There is that anxiety of, oh, am I going to put my foot in my mouth? Because this is going to be out there forever.
Yeah.
So that is quite an added level of stress. If you're just filming, you can edit out all the dumb stuff you say that you want. But in a live stream, I'm sure I've already said 5 or 6 dumb things. Please, nobody clip them. I've
stumbled over my words, so there you go. But what I wanted to say was one of the latest questions you had in the Ask Bandrew segment was actually about how to get over those stumbling words that you use, the fill-in words that you don't need, but we do because we rely on them as a little bit of a crutch, because we can't have that little silence period before we move on to something. And I think your answer to that was incredible. What I found is that it has developed over time during my podcast, because like you said, you get the negative reinforcement and you don't like editing out those crutch words. And then with the live streaming thing, you're trying to be on and keep the conversation flowing. So that's another thing that's helped me. We've got so many questions and stuff. I'm really sorry if you've asked them and you're waiting a long time for us to get to them, but I am trying to cover them. So hopefully we'll get there. There is one about why is the CAD-U1 the best microphone ever?
Knock it off with your trolling. Knock it off. Get out of here. Get out of here. CAD-U1 is trash. No offense to the company. That's going to get clipped and sent to him.
I just want to say thanks to Lazy Mitchell who came by. Sorry you had to go. I don't know how long you've been gone for. Talking for 2 to 3 hours.
Yes, thank you, Lazy Mitchell.
Yeah, Adam was just getting warmed up. Just stream like no one's watching, kind of like dancing. Do you know what I have to say? Because I went over. No, you don't dance, so let's not go there.
No. You go ahead, Heather. Sorry.
It's all right. Dance like no one's watching. I moved over to Twitch just because I wanted to practice a little bit of live streaming before this event, and I've been doing GeoGuessr, which has been a lot of fun because it's kind of touring New Zealand and sharing my stories since that's where I'm based. Or how poorly I know New Zealand, which is awkward. And I'm really sorry to any New Zealanders who might happen to watch it. But what I mean is, like, it's been fun hanging out there, and I was very prepared to talk to myself for that time. But I've had some incredible people who came along and, you know, yeah, we've all got a story to tell.
Yeah, it's all about finding the story. I'll go ahead and reference one of the interviews I did for the creator case study with Kraig Adams, who is a really awesome filmmaker. His thing was your agreement with your audience is just telling a story. Your entire channel is just telling a story. It's just about finding what that story is and making sure that that story is interesting. And I thought that was such a very interesting way to look at it, because I never considered that. I have always just looked at my channel as I'm reviewing another microphone so people know how it sounds. But I'm sure somewhere deep down there's a story, maybe in the ways I say greetings, Earthlings, or the negative things I say. I don't know. Maybe y'all could help me find the story in the Podcastage channel.
I think, though, you've had people come by the Twitch stream and they've been a lot of fun interacting with you. It makes another element to it. It's just like the live chat here today. It adds a whole other element to what you're doing. So when you do the reviews and things, you're doing that without any input, really. And then the live streaming thing is that interaction with them. And they've had people suggest games for you to play, which you've then checked out. And That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's been great since I'm not very plugged into the gaming community or gaming at all because I am so bad at it. I kind of stopped playing them because I found out that they just infuriate me. So once I started playing these point and click adventure games, people started recommending other point and click adventure or mystery games for me to check out.
Hmm.
And I have loved playing them. I don't think I've come across a one that I've disliked except maybe well, it wasn't a point and click adventure and it took 5 or 6 weeks to finish it up. And you have a flashlight that runs out of batteries and it gets very redundant. An eldest came by with "Listen, D-head," which is a reference to Thimbleweed Park. I remembered it. Yes. I love that game so much. That's probably my favorite one that I've played so far.
That was awesome. I loved
So
Thimbleweed Park too. Ducky asked, did you enjoy your connection with Cheryl?
Man, Cheryl is just, if I say too much, I may get fired.
No.
I may get called into HR's office and then, but Cheryl's she's a real piece of work. Let me tell you. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go any farther. I'll leave it up to your imagination.
Derek from Sometimes Geek said Mashup, the story behind Bandrew. So Emily Prokop is the host of the Story Behind podcast, and I think that would be funny.
Oh, God, no.
You kind of tell some of I think in your early episodes, you sort of told stories about things, but in the gaming things come out and it's just fun. And if you're in the Discord server, we know that we love pizza. Pizza is a highlight for you. I just bring that up because it would be wrong not to.
Yeah, pizza is life. It's not just a trend, it is a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you just say, oh, I think I like pizza. Get out of here, you poser. You freaking poser. Pizza is life. You need to dream about it. You need to think about it. You need to long for it. You need to wish that it was keeping you warm at night. Because imagine it's a freezing cold night. You could just put a fresh warm pie on your chest, keeps you warm, and then you could just eat a little piece of it. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Get out of here, you posers. Pizza is life.
It is. You were also
Sorry for that.
That's all right. You were also the founder of the Emergency Pizza Fund or Foundation. If anyone's not aware of that, you do need to have emergency pizzas on hand. It is important for your health and well-being to have them in the freezer.
Absolutely. And it is I think it's an issue that doesn't have the proper awareness. I think there really does need to be some sort of government-funded PSA campaign where people are informed of the necessity, the essentiality. I don't even know if that's a proper word, but I'm going to go with it, of having 1 or 2 or 3 frozen pizzas at all times in case, like last week, I was on my last emergency pizza. I was taking it out of the oven, grazed the back of my hand on the oven door, dropped the pizza. This darn dark place. But
What's worse is I gave you the PSA. You asked about was it okay to have 1, and I said no, it's really not. You need to have 3.
Yeah, I'm such a perfect marketing strategy, and that's me being a little bit facetious, but also very, very real.
Hang on. We've got a problem with dropped output on the stream.
Okay.
I'll just go to.
Looks like we're back.
Are we? I'm sorry if it dropped out, everybody. Yeah. Mine still says I've got issues. So, yeah, I want to apologize because I've done incredibly well, I think, this week. Does it say it's healthy? Mine doesn't seem healthy.
It looks like it's up. Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
I'm seeing it.
Okay. Have a good night, Anthony. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate you being here. I'm glad that it's back. I have had issues because my internet saga before the Sunshine Summit was an absolute nightmare. Here in New Zealand, not always is the internet that great. I'm also living in the countryside, so I'm trying to do it off a wireless broadband type connection. And they wanted to, I've been chasing them for like over a month to try and get it connected and get it upgraded in time. They managed to finally do it like a week or a week and a half before the Sunshine Summit. And then they came and changed my hardware as well, and it ruined it and took it back to square one almost. So over 11 live streams this week. It's been tricky. I had a couple of connection issues for people, but yeah, I am glad hopefully that it's come back. It's been one of the worries for me doing this, but the internet's been an amazing thing that's allowed me to connect with you and to connect with your community and connect with all of the other people that I had, the guests for the Sunshine Summit. So, and also just to listen to podcasts and do all the other amazing things. So it's been good. Just a little bit of a challenge on my end.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any issues over the last week. It seems to have been going pretty well, and just a 5-second dropout, no big deal. But on the note of the internet being used for connections, I think that's something that's come up multiple times in the voice chat in Discord, where just in the middle of a conversation, one person will just stop and say, "Oh my God, there's people from all over the world chatting about microphones or pizza or movies or what they do for work or Cheryl being awful at their office." And it's incredible that we're all over the world, but we're able to connect, not just on some surface level stuff, but it's actually making, in my opinion, some decent, but more than decent, that came out, some good friendships and good connections. So
yeah,
100%.
I think the voice chat thing allows you that sort of deeper level engagement than just text chat in a chat room or on a server in a text channel, because you can hear the person's voice, you can hear the inflection they use, you can have that back and forth quicker than I can type, because I'm not a fast typer, unlike some of us.
Yeah, I have a go with typing.
But you know, that aspect of the Discord server and doing that on a weekly basis has been just incredible. It's something that I look forward to. I've got a lot of value out of it, and yeah, making those friendships there is amazing. Absolutely. And Memage said everyone has a Cheryl.
And then Ducky chimed in with, "Voice chat allows us to have less sleep." I agree.
This is true.
There have been weeks of my podcast where they suffer because I'm running on a couple of hours of sleep, because I was so engaged in the conversation that I was up till 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning chatting with people.
Because we're all just so awesome.
Yeah, everybody, almost everybody is so awesome.
Yeah. It's been good. Sleep is for the weak, according to Eldest, which I will disagree with, because you do need to connect with sleep so you can have the energy and the motivation to do all the things that you do. I mean, it's amazing what we can do on very little sleep, but essentially goes back to the well-being side of thing. If you want to shine bright and light up the world or make the content and do all of these amazing things, you do need a little bit of sleep and to keep yourself a little bit healthy.
Unless he did mean it in the way that he typed it.
I'm sorry, did I misread it?
In a time span. So if he means sleep is for the work week, sure.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and agree with you. Catch up on sleep then.
Yeah. And voice chat is for the weekends.
I make videos then. Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm guessing it was just a typo, but I like the unintended message there.
Yeah. Yeah, Ducky said about Adam, you can have 4 minutes in a coffee and into the vein straight.
Intravenous coffee. I'm waiting for that. Intravenous caffeine.
Are you?
I can't imagine that remaining legal for too long, though.
No. As it is, sometimes you can consume too much coffee. But I think you do a pretty good job. You're hydrating now, so that's all good.
Yeah, so I just want to go ahead, and this is another company that should sponsor me, since YouTube didn't want me to get a sponsorship from a frozen pizza company. Let's see if they cut us off here. San Pellegrino. I love their mineral water because it hydrates me, it tastes delicious, and it is very refreshing. San Pellegrino. I looked it up because I was fearful that the mineral water would make you have more kidney stones. Apparently, that is not the case. It has a reverse effect. Pellegrino. Pick it up. It's delicious. It's my only vice, this and caffeine.
Okay. That was awesome.
Don't you want to buy some now?
I so do, yeah. We've got Richard D in the chat, and he said, what would be a good microphone for either live YouTube or Twitch? Currently, he owns an SM7B with a DBX 286. Well, missed it, something. But keeps going back to the condensers for the warmth. I think if you don't have the sound issue, I'm going to answer for you, even though it's not my tech channel, gear channel. But what I've learned
It's
is
your channel, though. You got the answer.
Oh, well, I'm not a professional. Obviously, I don't know. I think that unless you've got the sound treatment there and you can control the ambient background noise and the condensers work for you, then more power to you. But I personally prefer a dynamic mic. I think it does a good job at background noise rejection, which is what I've learned from the Podcastage YouTube channel. And I've got the Samsung QTU. So, yeah. And plugging it
Absolutely.
into...
You hit.
You go.
Sorry, go ahead.
My Samsung QTU is plugged into my UR242. So that's what I'm running for today.
You hit all the correct points there. So, Richard, if I were you, I'm biased, but I love my SM7B.
Mm-hmm.
I think typically the SM7B is warmer than condenser microphones. I think you may be conflating two different terms. I think condensers typically have a fuller frequency response. So it does pick up more air frequencies above like 14, 15 kilohertz. But for spoken word, there's really not much information up there. It's all just a little bit of sizzle, a little bit of brightness, a little bit of openness. With dynamics, you lose that, but it does a better job at rejecting that ambient noise. So with that setup, man, that's an amazing setup. The SM7B DBX and the Apex Oral Exciter, man. Oh God. That's a dream setup for a lot of people. Go with that, man. Go with that.
I'm also dreaming about an SM7B. One of the connections that came out this week and that I was trying to hold as a secret was that Elisa Lucas from Best Forevers is going to pick up an SM7B. So I'm so excited for her.
Oh, I'm so excited for her too. I was watching that, and I think I actually did the whole the fan thing. I just went squee when she said she was getting one. I was so excited.
Yeah. We got some SM7B hypes. We've got 12 out of 10 sold, going out and buying 20 Q2Us. It is what we kind of recommend when anyone asks, just because it's a good go-to staple. And Finicky asked Stargate Pioneer about tell me that's a Smash TV reference. I must have missed the comment from SP, so sorry about that.
He said, I'll buy that for $1. I think he was talking about this wonderful bottle of San Pellegrino mineral water, sparkling natural, with natural CO2 added.
Oh, wonderful. Richard D said, thank you both for your answers. It's much appreciated. You're welcome. Thank you so much for asking and being here and participating in the live chat. That's what it's all about. Does anyone have any highlights of the time that they've known Bandrew, or any useful stuff they've got out of the Podcastage YouTube channel, or highlights from the Bandrew Says podcast? Or if you've been part of the Twitch streams, let us know. Or even if you have any highlights from the past week, if you've caught any of the other live streams that I've done, it would be cool to hear what they have been. Finicky asked, do you think platforms like Twitch and YouTube have influenced the quality of mics being produced?
That's a great question. I would like to think so, but I don't. I think there's been, I think the incorrect microphones have been getting an increased attention, and that has motivated other microphone companies to develop the improper microphones for that use case. A perfect example, the Blue Yeti. Now, I will say the Blue Yeti is not a bad microphone. People are just using it wrong, and it's not well fit for live streaming in an untreated room. Mm-hmm. For instance, if I was using the Blue Yeti, you'd probably hear this car revving its engine outside. I'm sure you still can because this is a condenser microphone, but I think that's motivated other companies like Amazon, like Blue. Maybe Blue hasn't done one yet. The Yeti is a Blue. I'm an idiot. All these, Razer, that's the company I was trying to think of. They all have microphones that resemble the Yeti, and I don't think they're good. I would like to see more dynamic USB microphones, which is why I got so excited when Razer released, you can't see it back here, but they released the Razer Siren Pro or Elite or something, which was a dynamic USB microphone. And I was like, oh, they're on the right track. Turned out it sucked, but at least they are taking note that dynamics are going to suit them better. I think that's because they saw how popular, why am I putting my hand on this. I thought it was the SM7B. They're seeing how popular the SM7B is. I just wish it was the SM7B.
You're so connected to the
I hope
SM7B,
that
you just
answered it.
imagine that that's the one you're talking into.
Yeah, I miss it so much. And I'm not going to be able to use it for another month. I have another microphone to test.
Aw.
Oh.
Yeti's not bad. Preposterous, said Ducky. Ducky uses the Yeti, and he actually sounds pretty good on his videos, so he's doing a really good job with it.
Ducky does sound really good.
He does. He does Let's Plays, so they're fun. He's got a really good sense of humor, so worth checking out. Richard asked, on Twitch, you see many streamers use the condensers, most of them being from the AT stable. Do you mean Audio Technica? So, yeah.
Yeah. You see a lot of the 2020s and 2035s there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I should point out, when I am criticizing condenser microphones, it's because the majority of people I see using them are using them in completely untreated rooms. They have reflective surfaces all around them, nothing on their desk. So there's just reflections bouncing off their monitors, off their sidewalls, off their desk, off the wall behind their monitor. And it's just so bad and so unlistenable when you just hear echo after echo after echo. So if you are in a treated room, you can absolutely use a condenser microphone. But I generalize when I say this because most people who are looking for a $50 or $100 microphone aren't going to have the additional budget to invest in treating their room properly with some sound foam, a little bit of a moving blanket, if that's all you can afford, or getting stuff to put on their desk that absorbs the audio waves or the sound waves. So there is generalizations, and you can use a condenser. Yeah.
Yeah. There was Eldest likes his SM48, and further back there was a lot of NT1 in the streaming community.
Now, I love the NT1 is probably my favorite condenser microphone. I love that thing. Some people say it's too boring. Bring it on, man. Bore me to death. I'm talking dirty to road. Sorry.
It's all right. You've had some good
Got weird there
interaction.
for a second.
Yeah, it did. We'll just take that a different way and go that you've had some good interaction with them. It's been awesome seeing when you do your reviews and that, like Sure or one of the other ones, Road, maybe have sort of tweeted you back, which is really incredible. And another one of the connections that you mentioned in the last live stream was that the actual tech mic review or gear kind of community has kind of grown, and that there's seems to be quite a good connection. And they're still probably developing, but it seems like it's a pretty good place and group of people who are part of that community.
Yeah. So as far as the microphone companies, I would love to develop better connections and relationships with them, because I'm sure the people there are really, really cool and fun. However, as a reviewer, I talked about this with Jason from Painfully Honest Tech on the creator case study. It's important to keep a distance and not become too friendly or familiar with these companies and get to know them too well, get on a first name basis saying, hey, pals, how you doing today? Saw this, you might like it. Because then it will influence your reviews of their products and make you unreliable. And that's really, really important if you do reviews. You can't let these companies, as nice and well-intentioned as they are, you can't let them get too close to you.
No.
As bad as that sounds, because it can influence you even subconsciously. You may not be thinking about it, but you see these bigger YouTubers who get birthday cakes and get all these statues and all this cool stuff from these companies. And you really think that's not going to influence them when they're reviewing their products? It is.
Yeah.
So,
but I think what you do is that you keep in touch. You follow them, so you know what's coming out, you know what the latest news is, and you can keep on top of that, which is awesome, because then it helps you make your decisions in order to what gear you're going to get, and you can stay on top of that. You've even had people in your community go, hey, Bandrew, there's this new thing, and it was recently, I can't remember what it was, but you were like, oh, and got on and checked it out.
Yeah, that was actually the Amazon Samsung Go Mic ripoff that just came out this morning.
Oh, wow.
Somebody tweeted at me and said, hey, are you going to review the Samsung Go mic ripoff from Amazon? And I said, what are you talking about? I bought all of them, and that wasn't one of them.
Oh,
And it came out just right after that. And I was like, buy it right now. I need this. And it sucked.
good.
But absolutely, that is an amazing connection.
Yeah.
Having people keep their ear to the ground,
Yeah.
as people say, and keep their eyes open for you.
Yeah. Another one of the fun things was a while back, someone did some fan art of you, which I thought was just amazing. I think it was you getting picked up by the beam or something. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
I think that was Aziz. Oh, gosh. What's his podcast name? Oh, God.
I didn't do
what
enough
is his
homework on that one. I'm so
podcast?
sorry.
Small Talk something. He's been in the voice chat a couple of times. But yeah, he did some awesome artwork. Really, really like that and appreciated it.
Bandrew Rising, that's one.
Is that like Mercury Rising where you have Asperger's or something and then you can tell the code from some government encrypted thing? Small talks, my dudes. Yes.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you.
That's really cool. That's awesome. And you have your hype squad that follow you around and will follow all of your YouTube channels that you make and watch all of your live streams and all of those things. So yeah, it's cool.
And I appreciate every last one of them. Like, some people think, oh, you have X subscribers, you don't care about any of them. But no, like every single person who watches or leaves a nice comment, it makes your day a little bit better. Like days can be very difficult. I work a very stressful day job. Sometimes I get discouraged when I'm making YouTube videos. And the support that I get from people, from the Discord server, from Heather, from Stargate Pioneer, from Tim, from everybody in the chat, it's just amazing, and it will brighten your day up. And I hate saying this, but it'll turn your frown upside down. Oh, you sound so stupid, but it really does. It can make your day so much better. So I appreciate every single person who watches. Yes, even you, Rhett. Even you, Rhett.
On that note, I think one of your latest tweets, maybe on your Bandrew Says Twitter account, I was going to say Twitch, getting confused because words are hard. I think you're like you make words hard. No. That, like you said something about remembering that if there are only, when you're getting with your numbers, if there are only so many people listening or watching you, that's still an incredible amount of people. And to sort of not be downtrodden by that, to remember that it is a decent number. Anybody listening is incredible. So yeah, I destroyed that story. Sorry.
I think a lot of people forget what that number actually means, and myself included. But when you think about it, when somebody watches that, they are taking time out of their day to say, hey, I care enough to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 45 minutes listening to or watching what this person has to say. That is an amazing, amazing compliment that they're giving you. So if it's 5 people, that's 5 people who think, hey, this person seems cool enough to watch or listen. If it's 50 people, that's 50 people. That's amazing. 100, 1,000, it's incredible.
Yeah.
No matter what the number, it's a big accomplishment.
It sure
and
is.
I need to keep that in my mind, and I think a lot of creators do.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. It's harder because when you do get a little bit of growth, you kind of want to strive for the next thing and keep going forward. But yeah, trying to keep it a little bit humble and knowing that each and every one of them is a person spending their time on you. Richard D said that he bought most of his mics based on your reviews. So you've helped, you've helped so many people. And I think that's why you've got to the point where you've got so many subs on YouTube, because you have been that helpful. The information is useful and it's fun, interesting, and helpful. That's your kind of tagline.
Well, I'm just happy that some people have been able to get some value. That's why I did it, and I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. Another fun thing is recently, because you did launch the merch, and I have one. It came all the way to New Zealand, which is amazing. But seeing a couple of other people who posted their pictures from wherever they are in the world and they're set up in their studio wearing their ones. So it's been fun building that part of adding on another element to that kind of community thing where we can feel like we're connected to you, I guess, what we're doing, repping the podcastage.
That's been really cool. By the way, lovely hoodie. Looks great on you.
Thank you.
Really enjoy that hoodie. It has been neat seeing people from New Zealand, from I can't remember what country in South America, but in South America, in Ireland, everywhere, people posting pictures with their Podcastage hoodies or their Earthlings hoodies or their WordsAreHard today hoodies.
Yeah.
It's so incredible and flattering, and it's just amazing. So I appreciate everybody who does that. Nobody should feel like they have to, but it's just awesome that they're willing to do that.
Yeah. Rhett said that he bought all of his gear because of your recommendations too, and you've inspired him to be okay on camera and feeling comfortable talking by himself to his listeners. So thank you truly.
Rhett, that is awesome to hear. And I'm happy that you are becoming more comfortable just chatting with yourself on camera. It's an acquired skill. So if you got it, flaunt it, dude. Flaunt it if you got it. Is that the saying? I don't know. But good for you, man. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah. I think Finicky Fox is the same. So you've helped her too. And it's awesome to see her in the chat there. And
awesome, Finicky. Thank you.
Which creators are putting out the highest quality content according to you? The memage is saying that Marquise Brownlee and Andrew Huang would be two of his.
Great question, man. So I'm going to steal one of your answers and say Andrew Huang. I will also go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and throw two. I'm going to throw out another one, Rob Scallon. Not Scallion. He's not a food. Rob Scallon. MKBHD is great. I'm really liking John Prosser of Front Page Tech. I like Painfully Honest Tech. I like Cool Loser Tech. There's so many. I've been trying to take a little bit of a step back from watching so much YouTube and listen to more podcasts and audiobooks. But I'll come back to that. I'll think about that and I'll post it. I'll post it on Twitter. So if you want to see the creators that I think are creating some of the best content out there on YouTube, and then maybe I'll do another one a week later for podcasts. But for YouTube, go ahead and follow me at Twitter at Bandrew Says.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and post that because that's a great question.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you write down Eldest's question from earlier that we were supposed to come back to? Rob is the man.
Lost connection.
Yeah, that you want to get back.
So that's difficult. I would go ahead and say that the guys I used to play music with in bands.
Okay.
Like we've all gone our separate ways, and I got a text from somebody I wasn't in a band with, but have developed a friendship with since then. And he was at one of the guys' weddings who I used to be in a band with. I didn't get an invitation. I don't hold a grudge. We haven't spoken in over a decade, so no big deal. But like I was talking to him after that, and I was like, "What is everybody up to? Is anybody still playing music?" And pretty much everybody has stopped playing music, and that was so not crushing, but just a little bit sad to me. Just like, oh my God, we were all so passionate, and then everybody just stopped. It's like, what? So maybe those connections. That's a sad one because we were all so close and we toured in a van. We were all stinky for weeks, but it happens. Life happens. You drift apart. You get different priorities.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to reconnect sometime.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. But you've managed to keep your connection with music.
Yeah, I try to. It's so my connection to music, it's not the same. It has evolved and progressed. So when maybe a decade ago, maybe 15 years ago, I was much more serious about making it a career. And I found that as I got older and progressed and found out more about the music business and how much work went into it and how difficult your life can be as a musician, it kind of, and how I guess difficult maintaining a healthy relationship with your band members can be, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So now I love music maybe even more, but I don't do it as much.
Okay.
It's more of a, hey, I feel inspired today. I'm going to play my guitar. So it's more fun, and there's less stress that I'm putting on myself. So I think it's more enjoyable, but it's less often and less frequent. But in my opinion, that's fine. And I still listen to music, but not as much because podcasts and audiobooks and all of that. But yeah, good question.
You do manage to bring it into your reviews. So you do have the little segments where you do the audio tests for music, for instruments and stuff. And they've been kind of interesting. Did you read the question in the chat, or do you want me to read it out loud? Or are you laughing at what I said?
I don't know which question. I was laughing at what you said. Yeah, those songs are goofy. Like, I was a little bit apprehensive when I first started doing those, and I would just do covers because I didn't want to. I'm pretty particular about the music that I actually write and am serious about, and I have very high expectations. So I was thinking, oh, all my songs for my reviews have to be that quality. And then it just clicked. It's like, no, they don't. They can be dumb. They can be goofy. They can be whatever you want. It's just so people get an idea of how the microphone performs on that instrument, on the electric, the acoustic, or singing. So I'll sing about pizza. I'll sing about what the microphone company is doing. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's allowed me this really good opportunity to practice singing every single week, multiple times, where I wouldn't be doing that otherwise. And I have noticed a huge improvement from when I first started, where I was very pitchy.
Okay.
Very pitchy, just up and down and up and down. So
that's awesome.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. I will get to Guy's question in a minute, but just on the music side of things, I love the Bandrew Plays channel. I want to do a plug for that because it is one of my favorite places to listen to music. They are a lot of fun. Your original songs are awesome, but your covers are really cool too. And the one that you did, your Must Love Karate, which is your made-up band.
Yeah.
Is awesome. And what is the song that you did recently? And then you did a revision of it, and Dopeness Monster has used the revision you did of that on his Twitch channel, which is awesome.
Yeah, what was that song called? Yeah. Everybody Wants to Be Every Time I Die. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Buddy from the Podcastage Discord server, Dopeness, does Twitch live streams. And he said, hey, man, I really like this song. Would you be able to make something that's like 2 minutes long? Would you be able to transform this so I could use it as a 2-minute intro to my stream? And oh my God, that was so much fun. I took the parts that he enjoyed and made it so it's basically just the one melody and the same chord progression, but I was able to manipulate it in certain ways with different aspects, different instrumentations, and rhythmic elements to really keep it interesting throughout the entire thing, and really climaxes into this epic metal thing. It was just so much fun to do, and I was so happy that he liked it. I sent him a rough copy, and he's like, hey, that's great. And then the next morning, I didn't like how it turned out, so I re-recorded everything, and it turned out 100 times better, and I'm so happy with how that turned out, and I'm so glad that he likes it and has used it a couple times.
It's kind of ethereal in the start. It's just amazing. I loved the original version of that anyway, but yeah, it does sound just, it adds a whole other element to the way that you've redesigned that one. I love the Ladies of Sci-Fi, that one.
Yeah, and that one was fun.
Yeah, and then there's your Rick and Morty one, which is quite funny as well.
Yeah, that one got kind of popular because Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was fun, and if I could redo it, I would.
Okay.
Because I was pitchy. And to everybody watching, I'm not saying that with a B at the beginning. I'm saying it with a P.
P.
Just to clarify, in case anybody thinks I'm calling myself that. Okay. I'm not. Pitchy with a P.
Ducky's asked, will you make a song about ducks? But before you answer that, we have a bit of a treat in store for all of you. If you want to, after we've done here, we've got an encore event for the Sunshine Summit, which we are going to be heading over to Twitch, to my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/sunpowerpod. And you might hear something there. So that's all I'm going to say. I would love for you to come and join us after this one. I'll just go back to Guy's question, which was about, are you the natural love child of someone? Michael.
Michael Nesmith. I don't know who that is.
Oh, we might need some context for that one.
Michael Nesmith. Now I'm typing on a microphone with Cherry MX Blues. Michael Nesmith. He's a singer-songwriter, novelist, businessman, and philanthropist. Philanthropist? Philanthropist. Member of the pop rock band The Monkees. Okay. I'm not. I would be happy to be.
Okay.
Guy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Guy. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I have failed you.
So there's a song request for one about ducks, one about blobs. I want to see you play The Kids Aren't All Right from Eldest.
Okay, that's from The Offspring. Let me write these down. Song about Ducky. Or is it about you, Ducky, or is it about ducks in general? I'm going to make it about you.
Okay. Oh.
Songs about the film The Blob.
Guy's question was because you
That's how
both
I'm
wear...
interpreting that.
Yeah, because you both wear caps, apparently.
Oh, does Michael? Maybe so. Does he do it because he wants to throw people off their scent about where they're located? It's freezing cold here all the time. Brr.
Yeah. Luke's got a request for Africa by Toto. Fun story. They're actually playing in New Zealand in January 2019. So I sent it to Emily Prokop, who's a huge fan of Toto. So I don't know if I'll get to go to it, but it would be amazing. Hey, Lo. Lo from Low Nose is here. He was a guest earlier in the week. Welcome.
How you doing, Lo? Welcome.
And he was thinking about ducks in general for the song.
Okay, well, I'll sing it about Ducky anyways.
Okay, cool.
It'll be our little secret. I'll say ducks, but it will really be about you, Ducky. That'll be our little secret between the 19 or 20 of us watching this.
And whoever watches it back afterwards.
Yeah.
Did you see Toto?
It's cold here, Podcastage. Brr.
96. Wow. I think I'm on a lot lower than that. So Eldest definitely wouldn't want to be here.
Can I point out a connection that I recently made that I haven't really announced?
Yes.
I think I sent you a screenshot of this connection. It was an amazing connection to make. So I saw somebody posting about Hayley Williams from Paramore. And then I tweeted back at this person and said, I think there's something about the name Hayley that makes you a great singer. See? And then I tagged Hayley Williams, and then I tagged Haley Reinhart, who, if you are a part of the Discord server, you know how much I love her and how amazing and talented she is. And guess who liked my gosh darn tweet? Haley Reinhart. That's an amazing connection I made this last week. None other. Charmed, I am sure. Let me tell you, I was charmed. Right, Tim? OMG, what? Yeah. She liked my tweet, man.
That's incredible. That's amazing. Seriously, yeah. I have
There's
proof.
A screenshot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was another one of those squee moments.
Hype.
Am I blushing? Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Ooh. It's getting toasty up in here.
There's none other like like Haley Reinhart. She's incredible.
She really is, yeah.
Yeah. I have to say you came back with a good one, a smooth line back in Podcastage Discord server when I said that, can't compete with Haley Reinhart. And then I think you said something along the lines, or she's no Heather. So that was amazing. Just throw myself my own compliment, like fishing for compliments.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, we're different. It's all good. Blob Heart Bandrew in the things.
Thanks, Lurko. Meemage says, can you reenact the entire "Oh, hello" show on Bandrew Plays? I would love to. Oh my God. If anybody doesn't know that, I'm going to go ahead and give another plug out there, but I'm going to request that you do not watch this until after we do the whole Twitch stream, the the encore, look up Oh Hello Kroll Show, or look up Oh Hello Nick Kroll, John Mulaney, or maybe look up Too Much Tuna, John Mulaney, Nick Kroll. Amazing characters. Gil Faison and George St. Geegland. Sorry, I keep playing with a pen and tapping it. I apologize. Put the pen down. Put the pen down, Bandrew. Okay.
You've been live streaming, Bandrew. You should know. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I've recently been fidgeting quite a lot, and it's not good. It's never enough tuna.
I want to say a huge thank you to Derek from Sometimes Geek. I really appreciate that because, well, without all of you, I wouldn't be here anyway. So this week of Sunshine Summit, the week of live streams has come about because of all of the amazing people that I've had the chance to connect with. So shout out to you guys. Hype for you guys. You're all amazing.
Can I just go ahead and say a thank you from everybody, your entire audience, as one of your audience, for doing this entire Sunshine Summit? It has been awesome. I don't think I've missed a single one.
I know, that's
I'm going to
impressive.
go ahead and I'm going to share some of my highlights from this.
Cool, thank you.
I'm going to say I loved seeing Susie Buttress. I'd never listened to her before, but she was so eloquent. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think she said once. It was incredible seeing how well she was able to formulate her thoughts, and the fact that she is a Judge John Hodgman fan makes me love her automatically. And the British accent, love it. Keep it up. You're killing it. Second, got to say Luke from Luke Who's Talking podcast. Man, I had to love it. I couldn't not love it. With all the teddies, part of the Discord server, loved it. He's killing it on his podcast. Then, of course, Anthony, and not only Anthony, but Steph from the Off Center Archers, another Discord members. That was amazing. I loved seeing their interactions with one another and how well they get along.
Yeah.
At least on camera. I don't know how they are off camera, but they seem to get along and play off each other so well. And then I got to say Logan Naugle, one of my oldest connections on the internet. I started talking crap to him about his audio quality, and that blossomed into a wonderful friendship. So those are the highlights from your amazing Sunshine Summit 2018. And I got to say Stargate Pioneer as well. And Low Nose. God, everybody was amazing. Everybody was amazing. Just incredible.
Yeah.
And yes, Rhett Hall, you too, of course. Of course, my baby girl. You are my baby girl, Rhett. You did wonderfully.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Totally grateful for that. Totally grateful for all the connections that I have and that made that happen and made it possible. For your support. I mean, you've been supporting me for over the past year. You were one of my first connections that I made, like when I was looking for my mic to start podcasting. And then I kind of asked you for a little bit more help, sent in questions to Ask Bandrew Segment. And yeah, we've become friends, and you've just been an incredible person along this whole journey who understands it from a perspective of having that experience of doing it for over 3 years. Well, longer than that, but just in terms of Podcastage, for example. Yeah, I really appreciate you so much.
Can we give each other a high five, digital high five? Put your hand up to the camera.
I did.
Digital high five.
Are we still going?
Okay.
Leave you hanging. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're still going. I just, because I'm looking at the live stream and there's a delay, so I was holding my hand up there for like 30 seconds. I apologize.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Digital high five.
Digital high five, yeah. Did you want to quickly just mention about the WordsAreHard today social club design? Because I think that's kind of a fun thing that's new and being created. I'm sorry, Ducky. I didn't mean to leave him hanging. I didn't see it there. Like, it was black and I didn't know what was going on.
So Words Are Hard Today social club. That's well, I constantly say Words Are Hard Today on my podcast. And then there were some folks in the Discord server who said, hey, I'd love to see that on a shirt. And I said, hey, I would love to see that on a shirt too. I'd love to wear that on a hoodie because I say that so much. So there's this gentleman Guy, I'm probably mispronouncing it. Guy de la Coleta. He's gonna razz me because I mispronounced his name so badly. But I can't remember the country, from South America. But he did some design work for me for a podcast that is yet to launch, the Paradox podcast, where we talk about paranormal and conspiracies. And I liked what he did so much that I contacted him, and he did this amazing design where it says Words Are Hard Today Social Club, established 2018. And I made sure that he used a Shure SM7B as the logo just to troll Larko a little bit. And because I love it so much. That's really the reason why I did it. But the trolling of Larko is just an added bonus. Got him. No RE20 here, Dougie.
He's just mentioned Hoodcastage, which is quite funny. But if we want to turn the trolling back, he is the #1 member of the Discord server. So
he is. And he's there's no way that I will ever overtake Larko in the Discord server. He is far and above any points that I ever will have. and I've stepped back. I've said, you know what?
Take it.
It's yours. I'm not even going to try to take it.
Yeah.
It's yours. I can't compete. So good job, Larko. Thank you for being so active. Just razzing you, man. Just giving you a hard time. Appreciate you.
He's been incredible. He's been around since the beginning. So yeah, of the server. I mean, yeah. Got him.
An OG. Got him.
Does anybody else have any other final questions for Bandrew before we finish up this one and head over to Twitch for the encore? Because I'm really excited about that one. We've just had Eddie Hill say, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, man, words are hard. Sorry, Eddie. Welcome. Thank you for the link.
Just dropped the link to the Twitch.
That's
in the... Oh, we can't say that word. The Mitch. YouTube doesn't like when you say that word. The Mitch.tv channel. Yeah, like they won't catch on there.
Yeah, it's lucky that you're a moderator. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to spam the chat with that.
I would have got banned.
Yeah. Hey, when are you going to have some Vegemite, Bandrew? I hear you had a terrible experience with some Vegemite chips.
Yeah, somebody amazing sent me some Vegemite chips, and it tasted like how I thought cat food might taste.
That was a mistake, and I'm really sorry. Really sorry.
It was a great experience, though, and I do have some Vegemite and some, I think as Luke calls them, biscuits. I got some biscuits and some Vegemite. So now that I have seen proper Vegemite spreading technique, I may have to retry that.
Crackers and cheese with Vegemite, or crackers and Vegemite with cheese. One of the other thing was, how are both of our days? My day's going really well. Thanks, Eldest. It's been incredible today. It's been an incredible week. I'm really excited. I've had a fun time. I hope you guys are all having a fun time. And Eddie Hill says the road broadcaster. Hashtag spam and Reese's. Stargate Pioneer said, do you choose your shirts to accentuate the microphone you're using on camera so it's easier to see?
I do not. I only wear 3 different hoodies now. One is the Geeks Rising Earthling hoodie, one is the Podcastage hoodie, and one is the Words Are Hard Today hoodie. I know it's sleazy, or at least when you were in bands, it was always sleazy to wear your own shirt, so we never did it. But I don't care anymore because there's a new level of sleaze. How some YouTubers, how shameless they are with their merch plugs. So I don't feel like it's that. Let me explain why I got these made. Because I wanted to wear them. I don't care if anybody buys them. I just thought it was a cool design. I wanted this design, so I got it made. So I don't care.
But you did technically have a bit of a uniform for your Podcastage channel before that, which happened to be like a flannel shirt. And now you just have one that says Podcastage, Earthling, or Words Are Hard Today on it. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes the stress away of finding out what you're going to wear, deciding what you're going to wear.
On that note, I've done 12 live streams this week. If you want to go back and check them, I've had 12 different outfits. So there you go. There's a little
legend
Easter egg for the Sunshine Summit. Yeah. I'm not sure that Bandrew will eat on stream tonight. As you know, eldest, I police that quite heavily in the voice chat on Discord when people eat. And voice chat, so possibly not going to happen. Ducky said, wear them all at once. Tim only has 9 pieces of clothing. Finicky Fox said, don't be that guy. He did. And then Rhett said, I do the same, my man.
I will be that guy.
Old Brain Trust Bro stuff and just get a new Wallfly shirt and have worn it way too much.
Yeah. For school uniforms, say Bandrew. Huh.
Cool. Is there any last minute questions? I'm going to wrap it up in about 2 minutes because we've been going for an hour and a half and I want to head over and do the encore. I mean, it's been amazing. Last time back in March, we hung out for nearly 2 hours, which was awesome. But we are going to carry on. We're just going to do it in a little bit of a different format. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Eddie Hill.
Again,
great seeing you in the chat. We will keep up the good work.
Thank
and
you
I'm
for
glad
stopping by, Eddie.
Yeah, glad you love the shows. Cool. Well, a huge thank you. We had a huge number of people come by the live chat here on YouTube. This has been an incredible way to close it out. Like I said, Bandrew, you are one of the first connections I made on my podcasting journey. I've just celebrated 1 whole year of podcasting, which is incredible. I know that it's difficult for even some people to launch off the ground, and I managed to do that. So I would love to help inspire and empower other people to launch the journeys that they want to do, content creation journey, whatever it is. That's kind of the whole theme with my Sunshine episodes for my podcast, is empowering people to kind of do things and connect with nature and all of that stuff so they can achieve things. And you're doing an amazing job. I am so proud of what you've done in the last year. And that's a weird thing to say because you're like above me in terms of experience. But as a friend, I'm proud of you. I'm so excited for you and I cannot wait to see what happens in the future. And as you know, I'll be there cheering you along the whole way.
And as a friend, the feeling is 100% mutual. Every single time you set one of these up, my mind is just blown. You're killing it. You're doing such good work, and you're doing amazing stuff. So keep it up. Congratulations on a year. Here's to a decade more. You can't stop for another decade. So get ready.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. So yeah, we're gonna finish it up here, but we'll be over on the other channel. Thank you so much. And yeah, until next time, I'm going to be going back to my standard podcast after this one. We've kind of done our dash for live events for this year that I know of. Although if anything comes up in the future, I'll definitely let you know. But yeah, thank you so much, Bandrew. Thank you to everyone in the live chat, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.